Right, a very big welcome to you, my dear listeners. Thank you for joining me on this episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Defection. Development can only come from APC. Akpabio welcomes Governor Eno. Okay, development can only come from APC, right, Akpabio? This means your 8 years as governor under the PDP in Akwa Ibom State was a waste. There was no development, since development can only come out of APC. You know, when you talk without thinking, you are bound to be caught up in this kind of fix many times. Akpabio is the most loud-mouthed Senate president this country has ever produced. Under him, the Nigerian Senate budgeted 266 million naira for one street light. Under him, we dumped our melodious national anthem, Arise O Compatriots, and picked up a burial anthem. Some will say it's a lullaby. No, it's a burial anthem. Does that not already signify that they are on a mission to kill and bury this country? The chief of army staff, who is hunting bandits and kidnappers every day, says only God can help Nigeria win the war against insecurity. The chief of defense staff, who is also hunting these terrorists every day, is sounding like a defeated man, calling for desperate measures like fencing the entire country to prevent invaders. But Akpabio and Hope Uzodinma, who only go about hunting women, are saying that security has improved. What a shame. Now, let us look at the top stories. Aso Rock commonized the killings in Nigeria by launching an initiative to sit down and talk and possibly embezzle money in the name of trying to fight insecurity. But an APC governor angrily lashed out at the APC caucus shortly after that initiative. He shamed Tinubu, RIBADU, Akpabio, and the rest of them who claimed that security had improved in Nigeria. The governor has now joined Governor Zulum to accuse APC members, particularly sitting senators and House of Rep members, of being responsible for insecurity in his own state. He said he is moments away from finalizing his investigation and that he will call names and take actions. And Nigerians began saying, is it that the much talked about implosion in the APC is around the corner? Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. This video once again proves that Peter Obi is a political genius. One of the points raised by Obi when he criticized the 15 trillion naira coastal road project was that if some money is put into linking agriculturally viable rural communities to urban communities via roads, it would boost our agricultural sector in a way that will shock everyone. Many didn't understand. Now, over 1 year later, the CEO Center for Promotion of Private Enterprise is saying that same thing. See the video.
Well, the federal government and the states are doing their best, but I think it can be better. When we talk about food security, of course, investments in all these expressways are important. But the issue is that when it comes to crop farming is basically a rural activity. So, issue of rural roads connecting the rural communities to the cities is of a much bigger priority when it comes to issue of food security. You talked about post-harvest losses. One of the reasons you have huge post-harvest losses, which has been estimated at about between 30 to 40%, is the fact that there is no connectivity. Because in having this conversation, yes, we have insecurity, but we still have areas in Nigeria that don't have so much of the challenge of insecurity. So how do we optimize productivity in those locations? So connectivity between the rural communities and the cities, because access to market is critical for agricultural sector performance. Give a lot more emphasis to connecting the rural communities to the cities, to the markets. Because there is a tendency on the part of many of the subnationals to concentrate infrastructure provision on the state capitals, on the major cities, whereas the critical segments of the population that are involved in farming, in agriculture, are in the rural areas. So that connectivity is extremely very important. It is important to invest in all these expressways and so on to connect the entire country. But we should have, almost a commensurate emphasis, focus on connecting the rural communities to the cities. That is extremely very important.
You heard that. That was Dr. Muda Yusuf there saying the exact thing that Peter Obi had said over a year ago. Obi said, nobody is saying a coastal road project is bad, but first things first. We have several important roads within the country that are bad and can be fixed within months to boost the economy immediately. So why embark on a project that will not even be completed within 10 years? Then Obi said, for instance, if you begin connecting agriculturally viable rural communities to urban centers, you will massively boost the agricultural sector immediately. Over 1 year later, Dr. Muda is now saying it. Obi naturally knows things that they need to go to school to learn. And when you have a man who didn't even go to school, then you know that failure is inevitable. Obi's knowledge of how to solve the problems of this country is proof that an African leader who only sits in the office waiting for feedbacks can never succeed. The knowledge that Obi has on Nigeria are facts that he gathered himself from going around to see things for himself. And for the sake of every patriotic Nigerian, I pray and hope that this nation will experience a Peter Obi presidency. Now, let us look at the top stories. Aso Rock launched an unserious initiative to tackle insecurity. They gathered in a hall and began playing politics in the name of moving to fight insecurity in the North Central. But an APC governor from the North Central hit back hours after that initiative, stating the enormity of the problems in his state, and he even went further to accuse the APC caucus, including sitting senators and House of Rep members, of being sponsors. He said he is close to finalizing his proofs and that he will expose. Let's start by taking that update on that useless initiative. Look at how the papers reported it. FG launches initiative to tackle insecurity in North Central. The federal government has launched the Presidential Committee Engagement Peace Initiative to tackle insecurity in North Central region. The initiative is the brainchild of Abiodun Esiet, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement in charge of North Central region. Ms. Esiet said the initiative aimed to promote peace and social cohesion in the region, which has been plagued by banditry, farmer header crisis, insurgency, and kidnapping. This incident demands a proactive and intriguing response, one that places communities at the corner of peace. This is why we are gathered here today to launch a new pathway through the Presidential Committee Engagement on the Peace Initiative, she said. So the situation is so dangerous, is so bad. You people now gathered in a hall. You want to launch an initiative in a hall. You think this thing is a joke. You are gathering in a hall. And once you start hearing presidential this, presidential that, just know it is politics and nothing more. Next thing you will hear is in line with Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to keep people alive. So people were not alive before he came. It is just an avenue to loot while Nigerians die. But a North Central governor, a governor from that region they say they want to protect, Benue State governor to be precise, got tired of lying to protect Tinubu and RIBADU, so he cried out. He said his state, Benue, is under siege, and he began pointing accusing fingers at the APC caucus, including members of the National Assembly. Look at how the papers reported it. Benue under siege. Politicians in Abuja sponsoring attacks. Governor Alia. Benue State Governor Haisan Alia has alleged that certain politicians, including unnamed members of the National Assembly, are actively financing and facilitating violent attacks across the state. Speaking during an appearance on Politics Today, a Channels television program aired on Friday, Governor Alia said preliminary findings from a judicial panel of inquiry suggest that political actors are at the heart of the ongoing violence. According to Alia, the panel, which he constituted to investigate the root cause of the persistent attacks, has submitted an interim report that points to a politically motivated campaign of destabilization. The full report is expected to be released in the coming days. We set up a judicial panel to sort out for us why we keep having attacks from within and from without, and we have received an interim report. Between Tuesday and Wednesday next week, I'm going to get a full report from the panel, Alia said. It is very unsettling because some politicians who are very functional are in the National Assembly and are in Abuja are the architects and arrowheads of not just instigating but harboring and keeping these people, keeping them in the bushes and taking care of all their bills and buying all the gadgets for them. This is extremely unacceptable. If they do not like the lives of the people and are fighting for their own political position, I think I am serving the interest of the common masses, and it is my right to protect them. We are under siege. The way these attacks come and the intel we receive, it is a directed, calibrated plan and then executed. Alia vowed to take decisive action once the panel's final report is delivered. Can you take decisive action? By the time they begin to roll out names and you find out that those names are connected to Aso Rock, they are connected to the man sitting on that seat, will you be able to take action? Or they are connected to Shetima, will you be able to take action? But interestingly, Nigerians did not show any pity for Governor Alia. Rather, they began referring to when he stopped His Excellency Peter Obi from entering Benue State. They said, why can't you stop the killers now the way you stopped Obi? And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Ajewale Kayode says, I thought it was Obi that was sponsoring demo, hence your reason to stop him from visiting your state. Akboda, governor. Oh, and Emmanuel here says, are they not your party members? Why can't you mention their names? Well, he said he's going to later mention their names. He said he's going to take action on them. They are, of course, APC members. And this tweet here says, confused man. Was it not a few days ago he said they were doing well? Well, then he was trying to protect his godfather, Tinubu, but now he has had enough. And this tweet here by Don Zaga says he should move to APC from APC, because that is what people are doing, saying that when they move to APC, that cover of the federal level will be there for them. So what is Governor Alia going to do now? Is he going to move from APC to APC? And Olayinka here says, stop them the same way you stopped Peter Obi the other day. Pastor Isonu, he said he's a useless pastor. Wow. Benue State Governor Alia, a former Reverend Father, is now confused. He doesn't know where to turn to again. Just about a week ago, he was on the side of Tinubu and RIBADU, trying to say that things were getting better in Benue State. But hours ago, he has returned again to say that the state is under siege. But the truth of the matter in Benue State is that the state is actually under siege and people are being killed. Scores of people are being killed daily. But when you join the APC, it is almost impossible to say the truth. This man is now forcing himself. The other day, Peter Obi was coming into the state to offer succor to the people, and I believe he was instructed from Aso Rock to ensure that Obi does not get in, because it was becoming clear that Peter Obi was the only politician and the only member of the elites that was showing concern for Nigerians in distress, so they didn't want him to enter there. Today, that same Governor Alia is now tired of playing their games. We don't know what he's going to say again tomorrow, but today he's tired of playing their games, and he has said that his state is under siege. He said members of the APC that are in the National Assembly right now as we speak are the ones harboring these criminals, paying their bills and buying them the weapons that they are using. We are not surprised. We know that this is what they do in the APC. They weaponize poverty and insurgency, insecurity against anybody that they don't like. So what he's saying might be very well true, but it is not disconnected from the people at the center. It is not disconnected from Aso Rock, because these headsmen that are coming in had a pact with the APC itself at the formation of that party to invade Nigeria. So when he says that he's going to do his findings and that he's going to attack those people, call their names and all that, let us see how it will go, because these people are also connected to the men in Aso Rock. And that is why I keep telling Nigerians that for us to conquer insecurity or any vice at all that is bedeviling our country right now, we must first get the APC out of power. And how do we do that? We must come together as masses, as citizens, cast our sentiments aside and unite. Only then can we take our country back. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of na I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.